Okay, so for today's upgrades we're doing here, I just repainted my coil holder deal. We got to have the Pertronix Flamethrower Coil. We're going to put a whole Pertronix ignition setup on here. Yeah, that went right there. So the most important thing about this, the Pertronix Flamethrower, is like the only coil that has enough resistance for the Pertronix ignition for the original Pertronix 1. So anytime you put in any kind of ignition system, I mean really, you should make sure you have a proper coil. I'm gonna have to cover the Pertronix sticker just to get that in there, right? Okay, yeah, make sure you have a proper coil for any setup you're running if you're doing something aftermarket, because like I say, this requires a certain amount of ohms. The other thing you want to make sure you do with a Pertronix is that you have the right voltage to your Pertronix unit. This actually requires 12 volts when most cars have a resistor on them that knocks it down to like 8 volts. So here you go. Now we're going to have to move the fuel line, bend it a little, get around this, okay? You always got to modify things a little when you do aftermarket stuff. But yeah, get this coil to line up properly. I think I am going to have to pull it forward a bit. I think it's a little bit longer than the original one. Just a little. So let me back that off a little. Which means we should be able to have our pretty Pertronix sticker sticking out there. Our flamethrower. And people know what you got on there when you go to shows and stuff, especially. People are like, hey, what are you running on that? And look at it, it says right there. Okay, that's good and tight. Now this little deal here, it goes to your old points ignition. We'll get to that here in a minute. Actually, we'll do that first. Kind of block the camera here a little when I do this. I had to go find a vacuum advance on one of my old outfits. Okay, here you go. I believe we don't have to run that resistor on there anymore now either. It's got everything in the Pertronix ignition that it needs. So take all 3 screws out. Oh man. One on the resistor was really on there. Okay, get that little sucker off here. Okay, make sure you don't lose any screws or pieces down in your distributor. That would be a bad day. Then you pop the little rubber piece out. And this pops out like so, and there is a little ground wire on there. I'm going to ground to the Pertronix unit. There's our old points set up here. We'll take that and throw it to the side. Then we got our brand new little Pertronix module here. You run your wires through the hole. Usually got to run them through one at a time. Okay, there you go. And then you're going to pull it until the rubber gets to the hole. And then carefully work your rubber through. That keeps the water out. Okay, and then there's a little hole in there where your one screw went. I'm just going to pop that little pin in there. And there's a little spacer piece that shows you how to gap this sucker. I've already done this a bunch, and I'm just going to do it by eye because I lost the one that came with the kit. It's just a little piece of plastic that acts as a feeler gauge. So you get this little piece back in the hole there. Here you go. So you do away with the one screw, so you only have one screw on the whole system now. Okay, you take the prettiest screw, put it in the hole there. Oh, what the hell. Keep coming off there. But yeah, one of the major things people screw up on Pertronix is either they try to run it with their factory coil, or they do not run 12 volts to it. Oh, we went over that. I stuck this little magnetic ring on here. This has little magnets on it to tell it when to fire. What you're going to be doing with this, you're going to give yourself more and better spark, and everything's all going to run much smoother and nicer with the Pertronix module on here. There you go. Should be about right there. Tighten that one screw. Just snug it up good. You don't want to strip that off. Yeah, like I say, I found this vacuum advance on one of my other cars. I need to find a longer hose though, because this one didn't have a long enough hose for this carburetor, which we're gonna have to change it up more later because we've got a new carb coming. Okay, now on this, you're just gonna take your red and hook to positive, your black hook to negative, and then you'll bolt these on, and then we're just going to hook that hot wire up from our car. So make sure you get your connectors on here the right direction to where they sit down there real nice and neat. You want to keep your wiring and everything looking good. Wire management is a huge thing on building like hot rods and stuff. What I'll probably do later is cut these ends off and get some new ones out of my electrical box, because I'm trying to think and work at the same time. I want to trim these wires down. They're pretty long. You see I'm clear over here by the radiator putting these on. We don't want them that long. I might even put a different end on the car so that it hooks up a little better. Snug these up with the ratchet. I just went and traded in this Milwaukee ratchet. I killed my one. Put like a 3-foot cheater bar on it. Probably not the best thing to do with a 3/8 ratchet. Anyway, we're going to run them wires off to that side. We'll see how they do later. Like I say, I think for our wire management, we're going to want to cut them about like right here, to where they just hook up to the coil. Because you want everything to look nice. You know, you put all this work into your car, you might as well have it look nice and be proud of it, right? Okay, so get that in there. Okay, then here in a minute we're going to change out all the spark plugs. Let's see if we've got enough wire here. Get a good connection on there for our 12 volt. I think we're good. So we don't scrape anything up. We're going to put an extension on here so there's plenty of room to work. Yeah, before I get the new stuff put on here, I want to pull this intake completely, sandblast it or whatever, and then repaint it. Got to get it all nice and clean and pretty. Paint her up so we can look good. Okay, now for our wires here. Yeah, let's get the rotor in here. That's an important part. Put our cap on. I'm going to be buying a new cap and rotor also. Stuck on my thing here. One thing, you want to keep track of your spark plug wires. I know a lot of people don't really know all the spark stuff and that, or like how to put them on in order and stuff. So the best way to keep you good, do them one at a time. And this deal here that keeps your wires nice, those are good too. Well, that's the one out of this car. I just put the one on here out of my other Thunderbird. For some reason I carried it over. Probably a better one. These are actually the exact same distributor, pretty much. Yeah, I know the black one was on here. Okay, put that in there, make sure all your wires clear right and everything. And then you're gonna pull your wire set apart here and measure them up. Things aren't gonna be exact with these because half of these are off of a Chevy 350. I didn't have enough wires. A bunch of them were broke off, so I've been robbing them off parts motors around the place. Let's see here, where's my spark or my coil wire? Okay, do that one first. The slanted boot goes on the distributor side. See, these boots are coming apart. Oh, that one's good. I thought there was a crack there, but it's the design. Put it in there good and tight. Okay, run that underneath, around this way, and then down up into the coil here. Make sure you get everything connected right, or you're gonna have a bad time. I don't think this is a little different coil connection here. I don't know. It's sliding in there a little rough. There it goes. Clicked. Okay. You want to try to make the boot fit. Okay. The boot's a little tight, but let's see, as long as everything's in and you have a good connection. Yeah, like I say, that's in there nice and tight. Work the boot up on there. Tighter the better, because you don't want those things leaking. So, let's see here. And we're going to start on our other wires here. So, probably the shortest two are going to be the front ones. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to hang all these wires out long. Oh, there's another style of coil wire there, in case you want both twisted boots. Okay, I'm going to hold these all up by one end, and we're going to find the two shortest ones. Here's the shortest one. Okay. The other thing you kind of got to look at on that is the way you run your wires, because sometimes they're a little different when you run your wires. There's the second shortest one. Okay, so where's our other front plug? Right here. That's going to be, they're pretty close to the same. Yeah, we're going to put our second shortest one over here to this side. Okay. I'm going to run that in our little thing here for now. I got some really cool little organizers we're going to put on that. And then we're just going to set them here because we got to swap the spark plugs also. But we're going to run them in order, then we know where they're at. So we're going to take this front one off. Take that piece off the exhaust manifold down there. That sucker's kind of stuck in there. These are all just random wires. Okay. Run this one through here. Go under this one because we know we're taking all the other ones off. Okay. Might just fire it, put them on the plugs so we fire it over when we get done. Might not do the plugs right now. Yeah, they're all different mismatch things. So, hell, let's get the dang plug wrench out and swap them real quick. Might as well. Got all new NGK V-Power copper plugs for this. Find out what size socket we need here. Probably about 13/16. Yep, that's the one. Okay, let's change these plugs out. I don't know where my spark plug socket is. I'm not going to go dig through my toolbox at the moment. We'll just pull these out. Look at them. Okay, that one's a little oil around the base of it. Really not a bad plug. Looks pretty good. We're going to put our new one in there. Show you a little table. Got it in the car. I'm going to show you a little table you can find in like your old Haynes manuals and stuff. Shows you how to check your spark plugs. I'll get these plugs and later we'll do a little video on that. Okay, these aren't as temperamental. That new 5.4 Triton, my dad's truck, that thing you have to exactly torque your spark plugs or they blow out. Then you get to try to helicoil them or buy new heads. Okay, be careful here. Get the other ones out. Here, I'm going to do this real quick. You guys don't need to watch that. We'll jump. Okay, so now we got all our new wires routed. I had to do a little craziness there. This is why people get custom wires a lot. I got them all, for the most part, looking pretty good. But like these two here, they're a little long. You can cut them off and put new ends on them, which I might do. Just get the pieces and the crimpers and just do these ones. You can always cut them off and do it. Got everything done. Took a few times rerouting a couple of them to make them look better and shorter and stuff like that. Got to make sure everything clears. Got all new plugs in here. Everything's hooked up. Our Pertronix is hooked up here. So let's kick her over and see what she does. Hoping the battery's still holding out and junk. So here's our first start with our Pertronix ignition. Oh, I want to show you guys this one too. This was one of the plugs that was in there. Had a whole chunk of ceramic broke off. Let's see if she runs. Checked it all. Sounds pretty good. Had one little hiccup there. Probably because I drained all the fuel out and cleaned the fuel filters earlier. Yeah, I've been out here literally like all day in just my tank top doing this. system here pretty quick. I need to get this hood lined up right too. It's off. But yeah, thanks everybody for spending this awesome Sunday with me, and this will probably air Monday or Tuesday.